Hey guys, Professor Bill of Comic Book University and Justice League No Justice, issue number 1 of 4. All right, this should be a weekly comic book. You know, it's funny, I just now realized that this is actually a wraparound cover. So, not too shabby, guys. Not the worst cover I've ever seen in my life. That's the best. That's not the best compliment. It's the compliment you're going to get. Anyway, so all the bad guys, or excuse me, all the good guys are trying to fight off a wave of Brainiac's skulls. Is like, oh, it's crazy, raw. Let's try and stop Brainiac, but it's Brainiac. You're not gonna just stop him. Anyway, Superman comes running up or flying up and just charge punches Brainiac right across the grill. And he's like, man, don't you know how many, every time you attack Metropolis, don't you realize how many times Metropolis has been a target? Don't you realize that we've got so many different contingency plans for evacuating the city? And guess what? The city is completely evacuated. So guess what that means? I don't have to hold back. That's cute. And then, what do you call it? Brainiac just like immediately hypnotizes him. It's like, yeah, calm down, dude. So I'm glad, because an evacuated city and a Superman not holding back means there's not going to be a city to come back to. Sorry, I've seen Man of Steel. So anyway, he had a slight dig there. So Brainiac goes and points out, listen, man, this is not what you think it is. I'm actually trying to save all you guys. I'm also trying to save my home planet of Colu. And go and check out Brainiac Explained in a minute for more on who Brainiac actually is. Okay, so Harley Quinn and Gar, Beast Boy, in a green bear mode, wake up facing each other, and it's like, Brainiac will kill us all. And she wakes up, the bear will eat us all. Like, that was honestly my favorite part of this comic book. Absolutely awesome. And I really love the way that Harley is drawn here. Like, she's always got that freaky kind of, good looking about her. Here, she's just drawn so gorgeous. So I really like this rendition of her. Probably my favorite rendition of Harley Quinn ever. I love seeing Robin, Damian Wayne, trying to threaten Dr. Fate. Like, it's hysterical. Nobody's taking Robin seriously, and yeah, you can't blame them. So anyway, probably one of the best things happens. Brainiac and the other Justice Leaguers show up, and Wonder Woman's got her lasso of truth right there, and Brainiac is holding it around his hand. He's like, look, obviously I'm not telling a lie, so boom, 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 and he lays down the deal. And we saw, for the most part, all this stuff in the DC Nation issue number 0. And basically, it's just there's these gigantic, essentially they're Celestials. They're 4 Celestial brothers, all right? The Celestials from Jack Kirby's Marvel, legacy. Anyway, these 4 Celestials, Entropy and Wisdom, Wonder, and Mystery, hence that's the name of the teams that have to be formed. They're all going to show up, and they're basically going to eat the planets that are around them. All of them put their energies into creating this particular world and that particular world and all these different worlds. And whichever world is still alive because of one particular energy more than the other energies, that brother who's in charge of that energy gets to consume that planet. So a bunch of giant-size Galactus-style Celestials. Okay, cool. I don't really have a problem with that. We've already got the, what the heck is it called? The New World of Heroes, the New Age of Heroes. So fine, we've got the Galactus Celestial versions of the DC universe. Anyway, so these different teams show up, and also the bad guys show up also. And they're all working against each other, which is hysterical. But the best and worst part is, do you guys remember, what the heck was it called? The Justice League versus Suicide Squad, when the big reveal, like, what's his name? Eclipso is reduced to a half of a comic bad guy, like this celestial bad guy that events have been created around. He's just a lousy bad guy. By the way, go and check out Eclipso Explained in a Minute in order to understand that character better. So Amanda Waller shows up with what was probably the whole reason why that 6-issue miniseries was created was so that they could show the creation of Task Force 11. So here's Task Force 11 here, and it's just a whole bunch of psychics all put together, along with others. There are others here too, but all these psychics, and, minus Starro and minus Martian Manhunter. But they're going to go and try and take over everybody, and they're trying to take over the brain of Brainiac so they can find out what exactly is this thing's problem. So with all the problems that these guys already have, Brainiac is trying to, calm them all down and unite them under one banner so that they can try and stop these celestial beings from destroying all of the planets, therefore all of the life in the entirety of the universe. The source wall is cracked open, so this awoken these things. Now, were they on the other side of the source wall? We don't know. They might not have even been on the other side of the source wall, but these things woke up because the source wall were breached. So imagine, if there are far worse things on the other side of the source wall, that's crazy. I'm in love with that concept. Wow, love that. But anyway, Waller winds up screwing it all up because in her attempt to try and override Brainiac's natural defenses, she winds up blowing up Brainiac, basically. He has a discharge that just breaks his head. Like when the Hulk in No Surrender broke open the Vision, that's kind of what it looks like here. So his head just, boom, pops. And Waller, once again, is fully responsible for this. But I get it. She's all like, this nation has to be able to defend itself. Well, there are worlds involved, and maybe they should have involved her also, They had to have known that she was going to do something. I'm just saying, I feel like Waller should be involved in everything just so she doesn't screw it up because she didn't realize, oh, gotcha. Okay, my bad. She's very hands-on. That's what she does. She doesn't take a backseat to anybody. She doesn't know that gear. So much like when the Flash says, I've only got one gear, fast. Well, guess what? She's got one gear also. Do it myself. Anyway, I'm going to give this comic book a B. This was good. It wasn't the great that I was expecting. I mean, it was in the DC Nation, and I'm expecting a lot of greatness from there. I don't know what I was expecting from the No Justice. I was expecting something different, and unfortunately, it's not really what I got. What I got is just a whole bunch of, the exact same characters we've always seen put together into slightly new costumes. Guys, I've read this comic book before. It was called, what was it called? Shoot, what was it called? No Powers? No, Superpowers. The Superpowers, right? They had the toys, just like Marvel had the Secret Wars. They're like, oh, we want to make these toys. Can you make a comic book for it? Sure, here you go. So same thing. They said, hey, we're going to make these superpower toys. Can you make a comic book for it? Yeah, sure. So same thing. This is Superpowers, all right? And they're getting new costumes that allow them to operate on this island that otherwise they wouldn't work. Well, here they've got, these costumes that designate what team they're going to be in. And, okay, cool. So they've just got a new flavor of the month villain that's outside of the boundaries of normal human reason. We're going to find some kind of a really, awesome reason for Harley Quinn to be on this team. And Batman suddenly is going to come up with some great plan, but he's also going to be working with Amanda Waller to fix the thing. And we're going to see something cool. And this is eventually going to lead to a showdown where in the future we're expected to see Task Force 11 versus the rest of everybody. And we're probably going to even wind up, I'm predicting now, we're probably going to wind up getting Suicide Squad versus Task Force, Task Force 10 versus Task Force 11. You know what I'm saying? We thought it was Task Force X, but just like the Weapon X program. All the comics are bleeding into each other. All the companies, the main two, DC and Marvel, are always just bleeding into each other. And I feel like this is one of the best examples of that conglomeration. It's not a beautiful amalgamation, but it's in existence. It's here. We're looking at it. Anyway, I'm not expecting, from this first comic book, it's not bad at all, but I'm not expecting greatness out of this. I'm not expecting this to be, I'm expecting to be a page turner. I'm not expecting to be something that revolutionizes, why can't I say that word? Revolutionarizes. Okay, anyway, that word for the DC universe, all right? All of that being said, I'm going to end this here. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.